In the world of real estate development, sometimes developers set their sights on inhabited areas. Usually they propose a buyout offer to the existing homeowners who then relocate. But occasionally, some homeowners dig in their heels, leading to tales that are as amusing as they are unexpected. A family steadfastly guarding their ancestral graves in the midst of an encroaching apartment development. The family's refusal to relocate their sacred burial ground led to a tense standoff with developers. But when the developers cut their utilities and dug a 10-meter pit around their home, the family finally accepted a $300,000 settlement. In Ningbo, China, a highway construction project came to a screeching halt when a homeowner refused to sell his property. The man's refusal wasn't about money, but rather family disputes over the compensation and relocation plans. The developers had no choice but to build around the house. In 2010, the residents of a 900-year-old village in China stood their ground against aggressive developers. The developers tried to force them out by digging ditches around their homes and cutting off their electricity, but the villagers held firm. The standoff has kept the construction project on hold for years. Meet Takao Shito, the 73-year-old man who refused to leave his family's ancestral land in Japan despite not technically owning it. The Narita airport was built around his farm, causing constant noise and air pollution. But for Shito, preserving his family's legacy was worth the sacrifice. Zheng Meiju, a resident of Rui'an, China, refused to accept the compensation offered by developers who planned to demolish her apartment building. The developers proceeded with the demolition, but left Zheng's apartment intact. Despite having no utilities, Zheng continues to live there, fetching water daily. In the heart of Shanghai, the residents of Guangfuli Nail neighborhood refused to accept the compensation offered by developers. The standoff since 2000 has seen fancy condos and businesses spring up around their increasingly dilapidated homes. In Kunming, China, a tenant refused to leave his apartment, accusing developers of misclassifying the land to offer a lower sum. In retaliation, the developers dug a ditch around the building, disrupting utilities and forming a moat. 3 Irish immigrants in New York refused to vacate their bar on 6th Avenue when Rockefeller wanted to build his complex. Unable to evict them due to their lease terms, Rockefeller had to build his skyscraper around their bar. Spiegelhalter's jewelry store in Britain survived 2 demolition attempts in the 1920s and 1990s. The owners refused to sell their property, forcing the megastore Wickham's to build around their tiny shop. Salah Oujani, owner of a coffeehouse in northern France, refused to sell his property despite the neighborhood being demolished. His building stands alone, a testament to his resilience and commitment to his life's work. If you liked this video, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so we can provide you all the latest viral content.